Cryptograms are simply encoded messages. There's a ton of different types of cryptograms, and if you're planning on competing in high school science Olympiad Codebusters, these are the ones you will need to know. But we can keep it simple to the most basic type of cryptogram, aristocrats. Aristocrats are phrases that are encoded with a letter swap, but still retain numbers and spaces and punctuation. It's easiest to explain with an example. Say we want to turn the phrase "I like pie" into an aristocrat cryptogram. We'll create a key to keep track of our encoding. This top row will be the real letters and the bottom row the encrypted letters. We can say that I is A, so this is our new phrase. We do a substitution for each letter and boom, we now have an aristocrat cryptogram. The encoded phrase we'll call our ciphertext, and the regular decoded version is the plaintext. Simple so far, right? Well, you're never really going to need to encrypt an aristocrat, so let's get to the interesting / hard part, decoding. Before you start decoding, a few important assumptions have to be made. We make these about all aristocrats unless told otherwise. First, a letter will never decode to itself. This means that a T in plaintext will not be a T in ciphertext. 2, there's no funny business, like 2 plaintext letters have the same ciphertext letter. Now that we have that aside, I'm going to talk about basic decoding strategies, and then I'll be applying them to a puzzle to show you how it works. Start off by looking for any one-letter word. These will have to be I or A. You can decide to test either, but if a lot of words start or end with that character, I usually lean towards A. The second most obvious thing to look for is contractions. Because the punctuation stays the same, you'll be able to see the apostrophe everywhere. 8 out of 10 times, if you have 3 letters, apostrophe letter, that is going to be an N apostrophe T. But also watch out for apostrophe S in the possessive. If you have letter apostrophe letter, that's most likely I'm, but it could also be I. If you have letter apostrophe letter, that's most likely it's, but it could also be he's. So you can autofill the S, but be careful. When it comes to anything with 2 letters after the apostrophe, you're going to get an RE or a VE. But it's easy to just fill in that E. And then if both of the letters after the apostrophe are the same, that's just going to be a double L. Now let's get into some more nitty-gritty stuff. Letter frequencies. We're not likely going to be able to solve puzzles based off letter frequencies alone, but they're important in helping you make educated guesses. You will usually be provided the number of times a letter appears in the ciphertext. For Science Olympiad, it comes with this box. Each letter in the English language has a frequency that they appear. We don't really care about anything except the first few, and I like to remember which ones these are as a point. And to be honest, the order they're in doesn't really matter except E. E is the most common one. Sometimes, if I don't have any other idea of what to do, I just sub in E for the most common letter and see what that can get me. Now, there's a few strategies